What are the measures your organization has adopted for a person's personal growth as a working personnel?
Personal and professional goes hand in hand.
So we all know we are at a time where everybody's talking about employee welfare and mental health.
Okay.
So what are the initiatives that your company has taken for holistic development of its employees?
You plan better, and when you plan better, you organize it better and you execute it better.
Good afternoon, sir. So it would be great if you would introduce yourself and tell us about your experience of SOA Proxima till now.
Great. So I just want to let you know this is my third visit. So I have completed my hat trick. So I'm very happy. 2022 I was here. 2023 I was here. 2024 I am here. So I'm really grateful to the management and specifically to Mr. Dora and Ricky. They have put in that confidence. So it's not just like a reciprocation that we hire people from your college and then you call it. So what I have seen a change is Proxima was an event wherein I used to see a gathering of 15-20 HRs. This time there's a diaspora of 110 to 115 HR professionals at one place at one point of time with diversified industry culture, which is definitely an excellent initiative. So I want to thank you and your management and the student volunteers who have made the difference. So what I feel this Proxima during these times like January, February, March of 2024 or the current quarter coming in like April, May, June, the industry is just moving into a very different dilemma. Somebody saying there's recession, somebody saying that there are no many more IT jobs and all. So this is all a myth, I would say. With this, we'll be able to see a point of presence in people that if there are certain touch points which are been left across, so they can be put across. And this is a very good initiative with a lot of industry meets coming up further, and when you guys are volunteering it, so HR will also have a different perspective of seeing in that there is a lot of talent. If they have missed on it, they can churn up into an ROI of placements as well, and further make them learn and understand. So what I hold a very strong advocacy on is internship is very important. Why? Because this is more of just a start of things that it's an icebreaker that you get to know the person and the student get to know the DNA of the organization. I would hold a strong advocacy of externship. I'll tell you why. Because see, it's why we are holding up an expectation from the student as a candidate or a prospect. There are certain expectations from the HR fraternity, along with that from the diaspora of your faculty members. See, we have a very good or a bad habit of if somebody says something, we have a habit of double checking it. Why? Because the social media has become so prominent. We also have a habit of validation and notification that whatever the other person is saying is right or wrong. So what externship can help you is it can upskill in the faculty members, and when it can upskill in the faculty members, the return on investment would be they will be able to teach the students the way they want them to be taught in, with advancement in the technology, with the advancement in the way they want to teach. To begin with, my name is Raj Jain. I head the talent function for a company called Ebixcash. Before that, I have been a part of HCL, and then before that, the Accenture. With more than 2.5 decades of experience, what I have seen is the industry trend has started changing. The good part what I have seen here is anybody and everybody knows everything. However, the industry leaders, what they want, the need of the hour is, let's say, if there is a board, if there is something which is written in on a very smaller font, you will find it a little bit difficult to read it. But if the horizon of the vision has been broadened up and the font size is big, that means you know everything. However, we are trying to highlight it. And when we are trying to highlight it, it is more of a responsiveness that what we need in reciprocation. And there you can see that wherever there is a human involvement, anything and anything to do with AI is at the back foot. Why? Because nothing is possible without a human intervention. People talk so loud and large about AI. What I very strongly feel is AI is important, but without the intervention of human, it is not possible. So what I feel is that whatever you are learning, your conceptual understanding should be very, very strong. And when your conceptual understanding is strong, from there you can just pick up the base and can you move on from there. And with Ebix, with a strong culture of Ebix, what we feel is we believe in holding up a build factory. That means for good students, everybody hires in good students. However, the people who are average or below average, we have a concept of build factory. That means in their 6th and 7th and 8th semester or somewhere where they are nearing to placement, we hold the industry and academia alliance, and we give them those cues and topics to them that this is what we are looking for. So automatically when we do a campus drive, and we'll see those people are already industry ready. So this becomes a churn up ratio, which is much better for the selection as well. So that is what I feel very strongly, and that is the need of the industry, because we want to make enable hands more rather than rejecting people or demotivating and holding up a demeaning culture with that. So that is what I feel very good on it.
Thank you, sir. So I would like to ask you a few questions.
Sure, please.
What are the measures your organization has adopted for a person's personal growth as a working personnel?
Okay. See, personal and professional goes hand in hand. And I'm not saying that everybody's perfect and nobody's perfect. No. It has to be master of all. And jack of few. That is where the word comes in niche. Right? So, what we feel is to nurture them. We have certain things which we do with every 3 months of review. So, let's say we hire a fresher. And then we hire an early talent. So the basic need is to make a vis-a-vis of that early talent match in the DNA of the organization. So what we make the person accustomed is, we make them mentor in and sit with other technology people. So for example, we are hiring in anything and everything other than civil and mechanical. So what we do is, we make them sit in with people who are working on data science, people who are working on data structure, algorithm, Java, .NET, anywhere and everywhere. So the good part and the benefit is how it will help. They will have the understanding of all. When they will have the understanding of all, they will be able to nurture and develop the interest where exactly they want to go. That means, let's say you have your semester. After completing of each semester, what happens? Tell me, your examination?
Yes.
Just to testify that during those 6 months what you have learned. Somewhere you score better, somewhere you don't score better. Likewise, in our organization also, anybody and everybody is made aware of everything. And then we figure out what exactly would interest him. And we give them small projects, not on live basis, on trial basis. Why? Because there's a risk involved, because there are a lot of projects classified and there's a lot of revenue which is included in it. So we just give them trial projects. We see how well they perform, and basing on the performances, we have kept their confirmation period from the time they join to 6 months is the probation and confirmation. It is divided into 3 plus 3 months. So 3 months they see to it, they get themselves well into the culture. The other 3 months they try to perform it, and we see to it where exactly they are good at. After completion of 6 months they become confirmed, and then we put them into the area of interest. Rather than putting up that burden on them that you will go into this domain, that domain, no. You cannot put a person unless or until you testify in the interest of a person, because it can be a generic role. However, lately, if you see a futuristic goal, it has to be a niche, prospect of a person that he should get into that line of action, and that's very important. So this not only helps him to retain in the talent. Why? Because they come up with a mindset that during 6 months it will be my learning, the other 6 months it will be my execution of what I've learned after completion of 1 year. So we hardly find people leaving us in initial 1 or 2 years. We see that attrition coming in once they have spent in 3 to 4 years. That's how you'll see that growth and that learning. So indirectly or proportionally it helps him to invest less in hiring. Why? Because when we have less attrition, less number of people leaving in, so what we'll do is, we will not have to work on retention, we will have to work on their upscaling. That's how you can see that growth that can level up their personal professional career further. Simple. Because switching a job is a very easy task. However, staying at one place and seeking a growth for a longer perspective is very important. That is what I feel.
Thank you, sir. So, in your opinion, a developing country like India would benefit more from a environment that has a lot of companies competing for the same market, or a handful of them who monopolize it?
See, I have a neutral or rather a diplomatic answer to it. You will see in the entire world, there are a lot of companies who are just beaming in to open the floodgates, and they want to invest in India. You know why? Gen Z, we talk about millennials and all. The ecosystem and the environment is so adaptive that any country in every country would not have any restriction, and they are very comfortable to do business and get that business dwell into whatever they want. You can handpick in a lot of examples. Tell me one of the companies anywhere in the world who has invested in India and they are into losses. Name one company, please.
No, I can't.
Right? That answers the question. So there's nothing which is called as monopoly. It is more of diversification. I'll give an example. During COVID times, people were just holding up that thought, work from home is more of a legacy. But when that, that DNA got dwelled into business as usual, so everybody started adapting it. And when the organization realized it's not just one business which will survive it, there has to be a diversification business. If one business is going down, the other business can just cover up the others. Like say, you can say the travel industry was hit the most, but they were able to figure out certain ways. So let's say in travel industry, people started up giving in service of chartered planes. People started giving services of passing on the medicines through air travel and all. So there were a lot of avenues which were able to open it. It was not because of monopoly, it was more of a situation crisis which gave an opportunity to figure out the other things and other avenues. And ecosystem of India is the most adaptable, culture and the environment wherein all the companies can dwell in. Otherwise, you will not see India not becoming a 3 trillion economy in the coming future. So it's developing in another 5 years or a decade, so it will be more onto a developed as well. Very simple.
Yes, thank you. So we all know we are at a time where everybody's talking about employee welfare and mental health.
Okay.
So what are the initiatives that your company has taken for holistic development of its employees?
See, I'll not say that, we do a lot of meditation. However, peace of mind at work is very important to make the environment stress-free. And to do that, what we do, you plan better, and when you plan better, you organize it better and you execute it better.
Yes.
It's not that, the work comes to your table and you defer it and then you will do it later. So I would not say it is a holistic approach. It is just to manage yourself well. And that's very important for the mental well-being, that you do not put in your homely things at work and you cannot take your work and your mindset to home. It happens, it's human, we are all humans, right? You cannot hold in that you can catch a glimpse of anybody's thought, what is going in the mind. No, it is uncontrollable. However, on the holistic front, what I feel is that you should be more stress-free. How you can be stress-free? Let's say you have 6 to 8 or 9 working hours in a day. So during that day, you can plan it better. I'm not saying put up a checklist. However, what you can do is, if you can plan it better, I'll give an example. So let's say day 1, we start off with Monday. In most of the organization, Monday and Fridays are busy. Why? Because Monday is the starting of the week, Friday is the end of the week. Monday means anything which may have left in the planning of the weekend before, and the week ahead, how we'll plan. Friday, how the next week is going to be planned. Likewise, if you can just put in all those tasks into bits and pieces, and the more you hold a distribution of work in a right manner, less would be onto your desk. So the better point here would be to be more stress-free on a holistic front or on the professional front is that please make sure to eradicate your 100% dependency on the task. You should always distribute, and you should always ensure that if you are growing and the other people should grow. How you can do it? By distributing the equal deliverables to everyone and making anybody and everybody accountable. That means when it comes to one individual, it's all about your self-development and your performance. And with the collective approach, everybody will perform. That's how the team can grow. So this way you will be more organized. And on the holistic front, you can do anything and everything to pursue your passion. A lot of people do yoga, a lot of people do meditation, a lot of people, they have become vegetarians, a lot of people use organic products, they have just shut down on non-organic. So it's a personal choice. It's absolutely a personal choice how you want to do it. You want to disrupt in your regime, that's your choice. You want to make it more organized, that's your choice. It's the way you do it and the process which is involved in doing that matters more.
Thank you, sir. That was a great advice. So, could you give us few examples in like how your company has dealt with market disruption or changes in consumer?
Okay. See, with market disruptions, I would say we are a product-based company. So, no offenses to service-based organizations. We have made sure whenever the requirement comes in, we hire. We do not hold in a blah blah response that we are hiring, we are doing this, that and all, and then we hire in bulk and we put them people on bench, and then there is a situation which comes in that we are not able to deploy them to work, and then we ask them to leave. The creation of that market recession is done by us only. There is nothing called recession, trust me. If the manpower planning and the hiring roadmap is very, very clear for an organization, these things would not happen. Trust me. And to ensure to answer your question, what you asked for is, if we plan it better, again I will just say, we can execute it better. Very, very simple. So how we do it? We are a product-based organization. So let's say we have a hiring roadmap which we have decided for next 2 quarters. Next 2 quarters means July, August, September, October, November, December. So what we do is we just make ourselves more industry ready a quarter ahead. So whatever we want to plan and whatever our plans are, good part is that after every financial year end, that is March of every year, in the month of April, so we have the designated P&L which is decided, and with that P&L we decided that what we have to spend, how we have to execute it, how many we have to hire in, because if your manpower planning is into place, rest all the things would automatically go into place with the functionality. Why? Because it's all about the manpower. An organization cannot exist without manpower, and a manpower cannot work in without an organized system which is known as industry or the organization. It's simple. Both are equally proportionate and both are dependent to each other. Very simple.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views on all
Thank
of
you.
these questions.
So it's a pleasure. So I'm not sure how many
So
speakers spoke about it. But I think I was able to justify the questions which were expected for me to be answered.
it was a pleasure having
Thank
you
so
here,
much.
sir. Thank you so much.
Raj Jain signing off. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir.